Today we're going to be talking about investing in intermodal freight containers. Purchasing intermodal freight containers is safe, secure, high income. Let me get started by telling you a little bit about Intermodal Wealth. Intermodal Wealth is one of the most well-known and reputed companies in North America and the leading freight management company in the United States, earning a platinum rating from Dun & Bradstreet. Intermodal Wealth provides freight containers to AA+ railroads and shippers in the United States. Intermodal Wealth gives you access to their vast management experience in the intermodal freight container industry. They are your pathway to gain admittance into the flourishing intermodal freight business. Intermodal Wealth is offering you ownership of valuable income-producing real assets. These containers are your property under your control. We do not offer bonds, shares, interest, or partnerships. You will receive a title of ownership to each container you own. These are not the tin box crate containers you typically see in a freight yard. These containers are state-of-the-art, solar-powered, temperature-controlled, and refrigerated with a shelf life of 25 to 30 years. Purchasing intermodal freight containers is in the investment category of safe, secure, high yield. You will earn a fixed 13.5% to 16.5%. Intermodal freight containers are one of the best avenues for safe, secure, high income with significant guarantees and substantial tax benefits. All taxes, insurance, and maintenance are paid for by the shipping company renting your containers. No, this is not too good to be true. It is simply a contractual agreement with contractual guarantees. Once purchased, you own the containers. Intermodal Wealth immediately secures a lease for your containers with a AA+ rated railroad. The railroad leases the container at 20% of the value of the container. Intermodal Wealth retains 6.5% as management fee, and the 13.5% is simply the net rent for your containers. I often hear, how can an investment that pays 13.5% be a safe investment? Well, you cannot equate this investment with an investment in the stock market. It is more comparable with an investment in real estate. Deem it as though you bought a commercial building and you leased the space out to a very high-quality tenant. And you hired a real estate manager that manages your building and collects your rent for you. It is not uncommon to have cap rates of 18% or more in real estate. Let's look at this illustration. Intermodal Wealth will facilitate the purchase of your intermodal freight containers, and they will immediately secure a lease with a AA+ railroad. The railroad pays 20% of the value of each container. Intermodal Wealth retains 6.5% as their management fee, and the 13.5% is your net rent for your containers. Now let's look at the substantial guarantees. First, you have a contractual guarantee from a AA+ railroad that guarantees payment on time for the term of the lease. In addition to that, as the manager of your property, Intermodal Wealth guarantees that you will receive your payments on time and for the duration of the lease. How they accomplish that is they pay you 1 month in advance of when the payment is due from the railroad. Intermodal Wealth also guarantees that they will maintain a segregated, independent account sufficient for 100% redemptions of your purchase price at the end of your lease. Are you concerned about the stock market, credit crisis, and currency crisis? Why keep betting on a volatile stock market? Many experts believe there is an impending market crash that will be much like the 2008 crash and will reach around the globe into every American life. Intermodal freight containers are safe, secure, high yield. Wealthy investors have used real assets for centuries to protect and create wealth. Ask yourself this question. Do you think your stock or stock mutual funds will average an annual 13.5 or 16.5% net rate of return over the next 10 years? Well, you can earn 13.5% on purchases of less than $500,000 of equipment and 16.5% on purchases of $500,000 or more of equipment. Intermodal Wealth reduces their fee to 3.5% on purchases of $500,000 or more of equipment. Now let's take a look at an example income and return. If you invest $500,000, you will purchase approximately 34 containers. you will receive a fixed 16.5% annual net rate on your investment. That's $82,500 a year. Now multiply that by 10 years and you will receive $825,000 over the 10-year period. Now let's assume that after the 10-year lease is up, you want to redeem your investment and sell your containers. You will receive a guaranteed minimum of your principal investment of $500,000, and your total return is $1,325,000. Now let's take a look at releasing your equipment at the end of your first 10-year lease. You will receive another $825,000 over the next 10-year period. Now, at the end of this 10-year lease, you want to redeem your investment and sell your containers. You will still receive a guaranteed minimum of your principal investment of $500,000. Now your total return is $2,150,000. Now let's look at the substantial tax write-off. In the IRS Section 179, in the IRS Publication 946, if we purchase $500,000 of equipment, our first year write-off is 100% of our first $139,000. But in addition to that, we get a 50% bonus depreciation on the amount over the $139,000. That equals another write-off of $180,000. We also get a first-year normal depreciation of $36,100. Our total write-off for the year is $355,600. Now let's see how that looks on your tax return. Let's assume that you have an income of $139,000. You will have to pay tax on that $139,000 income this year. But if you invest and purchase $139,000 of intermodal freight containers, you will get a 100% tax write-off of $139,000 and reduce your taxable income to $0. Now your $139,000 income is tax-free for the year. The demand for freight containers is surging. No one company could fill the current demand. Investor Business Daily recently reported that the transition to intermodal freight containers by shipping companies is only in the early stage of growth in the industry. The smart money is flooding into the freight industry. Warren Buffett just purchased the Burlington North Santa Fe Railroad, and his Berkshire Hathaway Fund recently purchased major shares in the Union Pacific Railroad and the Northern Southern Railroad. Investors Business Daily recently had a story on J.B. Hunt's transition to intermodal freight containers, that they have been in this transition over the past 10 years. They recently purchased 55,000 freight containers, and J.B. Hunt reports that they now derive 60 to 70% of their revenue from intermodal freight, and that it is a substantial savings over traditional freight by trucking. The surge in intermodal freight is compelled by the 70% reduction in cost to move freight with intermodal containers. It costs less than $1 per mile to deliver freight door to door using intermodal. For more information on intermodal freight containers, please call American Synergy Capital at 1-800-588-4143, and we will be happy to provide you with any information you need to make your decision. Thank you for watching our video.